Hey guys, welcome back to my watercolor channel, and today or this week I continue with my autumn sceneries. 2 years ago my husband took a very nice picture in Kemi, which is a bit north from Oulu, and I really liked how he was able to catch the vibrant colors of the trees as well as the reflection. So I thought I will make a really nice and short video, and I did it on a very small paper so it doesn't take too long. Very important is to wet the paper first, so I added some spray and then some cobalt blue to the sky, and now I continue with a very strong yellow ochre to the yellow trees. As you can see that the paper or the painting is tilted, so everything is flowing nicely downwards, and the colors basically are the same that I have used in my previous video with the rowan tree, so you can check it out from there. But basically it's yellow ochre and cadmium red for the nice orange, and then some green of lemon yellow and ultramarine blue as well. Now I have added a little bit of crimson red to my orange, and the reason why on the one side in the photo the trees were a little bit on the shadowy side, so I use a bit of a darker red. But for the lake I have added as well as some of the cobalt blue, but a little bit stronger, and now a stronger green or darker green, not stronger, as well as some brown. What's really important here is that the colors are not very diluted, because the painting or the paper is really wet, especially in the first phase. I made sure that the watercolors are well moistured and they give free a lot of pigments, which means basically that you have to wait for 5 minutes that they are wet enough, and then you check that you can take as much pigment as possible. But as well, when all colors are mixed together, that they don't contain too much water. And now I add a little bit of a purple, so I have mixed this out of ultramarine and some crimson red. It's a little bit of a cooler purple, but I think it fits here nicely together because it's fitting well with the cobalt blue. And then I already continue with the reflections, so the reflections are nearly ready. And as you notice, I do everything in one go, so I try to be really fast and get the painting done as far as possible. But as I said, the painting is quite wet, so you have to work a little bit faster. What I do next is basically, while the paper is still quite moist, I take my brush, and it doesn't contain any water, but I want to take off some of the paint, so those are the trunks of the trees. And I do it in this phase while the paper is still wet, because it's kind of like not adding any harder edges as such. Now that everything has dried, I draw with a pencil the bank area around the river, so it's a little bit more diagonal, because I want to add some movement or a focal point to the painting. I use the same a little bit of a brownish purple So I added a pinch of cadmium red to the purple, so I have a nice contrast. As well, adding some brown on the other side and some purple as well. It's important here that the colors are as well a bit darker and to give more contrast to the background trees. But I don't want to have just the wet to wet technique, so just adding slamming some paint to the wet paper, and I wanted to emphasize a little bit of the form or the shape of the trees. So I used the same colors that I have used before and add them with a small pencil, a small brush to the paper. I do it that the edges are a bit stronger in color, but the middle is more diluted where I add more of the water. And I try to watch that the white trunks of the trees, which where I took the paint off, are a bit visible, so they get a bit more of a harder edge now, but not too much. And continue a little bit here with the orange trees, so just really tapping the brush or the tip of the brush onto the paper and guiding a little bit of the paint downwards, but doing more the lower part of the trees. Of course, I add a little bit more of a dark brown and a darker purple, or more a color which are more vibrant, because at the top, on the top of the trees, the sun is shining nicely, so they don't need to have too much of a color, but the colors a little bit intensify when going more downwards towards the bank of the river. And I keep in mind what colors I have used before, so it's really important to add clean colors and not to add too many of the muddy colors, otherwise the balance or the vibrancy of the colors gets a little bit lost. So you have to make sure that your brush is clean or that your water is relatively clean. But we are nearly done, just adding here a bit of a darker red, and then I use my rigger brush to add darker trunks, because this painting is so small. I really need a very small brush, and then I look a little bit at my photo. It's like, what does it look like? And add here also some trunks to the reflection. I have not emphasized the trees now in the reflection because I don't think it's really necessary. A few brush strokes here, but there. Make sure that it actually fits the reflections as well, not always paying attention, and adding a bit more contrast, like a purple. But yeah, that was it. So thank you for watching, and remember to subscribe. Bye!